as we go live. Tell me what episode it was.
It's episode
Yeah.
13.
Wow. Episode 13, and here we go. So we're ready to get this show on the road. So, welcome to Get Healthy and Happy, our live call that we are putting on each week. And Jason and I are super excited to come to you. We are bringing you this call weekly so that we can bring you insight into life and how you can cope with whatever goes on each day or whatever is happening in health, fitness, and in business. And that's what we're excited to bring to you as we move forward tonight. So we've got a really interesting topic to talk about. It could be a fair bit sensitive to people that do join us, I dare say.
Oh, really?
Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know. I want to say, just before we kickstart, is that, I know not every day is a challenging day, or that, not everyone has tough days, but I know that there's plenty of tough days out there. And I think the topic that we're going to talk about tonight could be a part of what could make your day challenging. What do you reckon?
Oh, definitely. It's definitely a challenge.
Definitely challenge. Yeah, I think so. But, again, it comes down to different personality types and how you're affected by different things that you see and different things that you watch. So, all of that comes into play as well. So we want to help you to be able to, we always talk about things very openly and very raw. And we want to give you our honest opinion and, what we do as a couple to be able to, get through whatever it might be. So, Jace, let's go from the week half and just see what's happened to you so far. So since we spoke last week, what's happened?
Oh, terrible week.
Terrible week.
Yeah, had to look after you.
Oh.
No.
Oh dear.
No, it's been a good week apart from what happened on when was it? Was it Monday?
Tuesday last week.
Tuesday last week. Yeah.
Tuesday morning. Yeah, I bent over. I actually did some exercise in the morning, and I felt a little niggle in my back. And for those that don't know, I had back surgery just on 2 years ago, and I've had a couple of injuries since due to having a disc. I don't know, they call it a disc explosion, but I felt it funny. So I did end up taking a couple of Panadol, and I probably should have just sort of, stopped dead in my tracks, and I didn't. I kept going, and I simply bent over to pick up a towel in the bathroom, and I couldn't get up.
So I was, sitting down, nice quiet morning, going through my little motivational speech, DMO, I guess, looking at some stuff. And then I get a phone call, and my poor wife is crying on the other end of the phone in absolute pain. And I said, can you just wait 5 minutes? Because I just got my coffee to finish.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I knew straight away that something happened, because it's very rare that my wife rings me in distress. So I quickly jumped in the car, got home, and here was my poor wife in an absolute mess. Couldn't walk, couldn't move, and I had to help you, didn't I?
You did have to help me. You did, and you did a brilliant job. So thank you so much. So to all of those husbands that are out there that do support their wives, or help us to get through some ailment, you guys are absolutely amazing. I tell you what was frustrating is that I crawled to get my phone, and I dropped it. I don't know why. I never dropped my phone. I dropped my phone, and I tried to use my foot to, open it up and dial, and it's just in such a bad way.
But then I told her she could have yelled out, "Hey Siri, ring Jason."
Oh yeah.
And the phone would have rung me.
True story. So if you've got anybody that you recommend, any doctors that you see on the Gold Coast, then pop them into the comments and let us know. That would be super cool as well. Or it could help somebody else that might be going through some challenging time with their back. Let us know if you have a bit of a bad back. Thanks, Terry. Thank you so much. Yes, it's still very, very sore, and we actually hop on a plane on Monday and fly to the United States, and I'm super, super concerned about that, but I am sending out those positive endorphins or chemicals to get my back ready. So I've just got to make sure that, that I don't overdo it. But, that's like many people that don't know when enough is enough. So on that note, Jace,
Yes.
I want to talk to you. So talking about that and having a bit of a flat week, literally, pardon the pun, lying on my back, like you use your phone. And
Yes.
social media or having access to the scrolling and all of that is really easy to get hold of. So we want to talk to you guys tonight about, are you training your brain to be rewarded by comparing and distracting yourself to others? And so, like I said at the start, you didn't seem to think it would be a sensitive topic, but I think this would be a bit of a sensitive topic to many. And the reason being is because you could have a slight addiction or a big addiction to this problem. So, you know, we've talked about drugs, we've talked about alcohol, we've talked about self-medication. You know, who would ever think that we'd be talking about, you know, social media being a place where you can, you know, have an addiction and it can absolutely, you know, play havoc on your life. So let's start off by just having a look at this. So you need a good routine, right? So we know we need a good routine so that can set your day up right and so that you can stay motivated. It can set your mind in the right place. But there's one thing that we should not do, because it is taking away our ability to be in good moods. It's stopping us from being productive, and it's also stopping us from reaching our goals. So without giving it away, like, what are your thoughts on what we're going to discuss?
Oh yeah, look, it's definitely. Look, I guess I can put my hand up, and I've done it myself. So, and I'm sure when we do talk about it, everyone's going to say, yes, I've done that.
Yeah.
So yes, it is something that needs to be cut out or reduced, so that your day becomes more productive. Because I guess all of us, you know, unless we're just living a life of emotions, in other words, just getting up and doing the 9 to 5 grind,
Yeah.
then we're just living through the motions. We're actually basically walking dead, I guess. So if you want to, we're about it. We are about, you know, helping people be motivated. So our discussion tonight is hopefully to be able to help everyone wake up in the morning and be a bit more positive, or have some kind of goal or objection that they want to do.
Absolutely. And, you know, I love that, you know, you and I with our different personality types, like, address this in a different way. And, you know, like, you're, you know, cut to the chase. You know, I've been around the bush a little bit, but I really love it because you always set me in the right place as well. So from both of us, hopefully you'll get, you know, some good tips. And so we want to say thank you again for everybody that is on our social media platforms and for watching. And if there is anybody that you do know that, you know, lives with a mental illness or is in network marketing or, you know, is maybe out of a job or looking for a change in their life, then please, you know, definitely share our page or our Instagram with those people so that we can, you know, reach out and help those people as well. So, okay, so let's get into it. So most people start their day, okay, so I forget how many millions and millions and millions of people are on social media. So most people.
The answer to that on HomePod.
Oh no. So Siri's talking to us, Jace. Oh dear.
She's always listening.
Yeah, she's always listening. Okay, so most people start their day by grabbing their mobile phone or some kind of device, and they're hopping straight onto social media and they're starting to scroll first up.
Yep.
Okay, so what we're going to do, is there anything that's wrong with it? And what could be the impact that it's having on our lives? Okay, so we've got a really interesting, like an amazing analogy to share with you. And if you wouldn't do this, then you won't do it to yourself. So scientifically, it's been proven by one of the world's largest studies that was done on high performers. Out of the top 15% of these people, so people that say were fitness instructors, people that ran their own businesses, people that were network marketers. So they did a study with over 2 million data points from 190 countries from high performers around the world. And one thing that these people are not doing. So what do you reckon that is, Jace?
They're not starting their day, first of all, by opening up their phone and going straight onto social media. Yep. They're not checking how many likes they've just received or how many comments on their last post.
And we do love our people on social media.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
and we'll get to that. And we'll explain what we mean. Yeah. You know, it's always about being balanced, of course, but they don't start their day straight onto it. There's something else that they do.
So if you guys, like, if you're one of those ones that, or has, you know, let us know in the comments that you'd start your day, like you grab your phone, you wake up, you grab your phone, you scroll, and away you go. So let's have a look at what some of the things that happen when we do this. So psychologically, when you grab your phone first thing in the morning, what do you think this is doing to you? So this is the interesting part of it all. So first of all, it's triggering the comparison part of our brain. So we're comparing ourselves to people. So it could be, you know, I'm watching some dude on Instagram and I'm like, oh my goodness, his abs are just amazing. And I'm comparing myself to that. No, not really. So, you know, obviously
No, you're comparing mine.
Oh yeah, I could be doing that too. No, I don't follow many men on Instagram. They're not my thing, really. They're not my jam. But you know, wouldn't that be interesting? So if we weren't following things that didn't really make us feel compared, but what we're doing is I don't think it matters what age group we are in. We are comparing ourselves to whoever it is we're following on social media. So they are saying that if it's not causing a positive influence on your life, then you know you should look at, you know, maybe pulling out of that. But you know, if you are comparing yourself to, you know, people like followers, you know, you're looking at people now and going, you know, like, I mean, we were talking like 10,000 people. Now we're talking like 100,000, 1 million, 2 million followers. And, you know, that can be really, really, like debilitating to some people, that they're comparing themselves to, you know, at the amount of followers that they do or don't have.
Now, again, as Kyla said, what we're talking about is doing that first thing in the morning. Your brain is automatically connecting to that, what's happening, and you start scrolling. So again, we're not talking about just in general, if you want to go and see what's happening with The Rock or some social movie star, what they're doing, that's fine. But it's the first thing in the morning when you first wake up and your brain is just waking up. It's not feeding it the right ingredients.
Yeah, no, that's good. And you know, like I'd like to say that to you. I love that you're bringing in, Jace, about that we're talking first thing in the morning. So I grab my phone, but I connect straight to Tony Robbins. So I'm not scrolling through and looking at my news feed or looking at Instagram and comparing again. So, you know, some of the things, we're comparing ourselves to someone else's body. We're comparing ourselves to his abs. We're looking at the followers, lifestyle. I don't have this. They're going around holidays. They've just bought a house. They've just got a dog. They've just bought a new car. She's got this. She's got that. I want to be like this. You know, all of these things. The list keeps going on. So you're comparing your life to other people. So we scroll, we swipe, and guess what this does? So can you imagine, you've got your phone, guys, so you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, whatever it might be, and you're scrolling, you're swiping. And what this does is it triggers in our brain dopamine. And how would it trigger dopamine? So what it's doing is that it's like a novelty to our brain. Our brain loves novelty and it likes new things. It loves new, shiny, bright, you know, things. And it keeps on getting this like hit of every time we see something and we keep going through. And so this dopamine keeps, you know, like building in our brain. And what it means is that we are forgetting about our own lives and our own day. Yeah. That's what's happening. Yeah. And so when we talk about forgetting our own lives and our own day, we're not hitting our own goals. We're not hitting our own, you know, we're not being productive ourselves because we're so caught up in everybody else's life that we just feel terrible. Yeah. And we're playing the comparison game. So, you know, this is what we want to avoid. So, do you know what I mean? It's no fault of our own. It is that the brain actually gets rewarded and it loves the fact that it is seeing all of these novelty things that pop up.
Yep. And basically before you know it, an hour's gone by or, you know, you start all of a sudden go, oh, I've got to get to work, and you start rushing and then you get to work and it just sets you off on the bad course because you haven't given yourself that proper morning wake up and, you know, setting your mind ahead of what you need to get done.
Absolutely. And so this is what I want to share with you guys. So this is super cool. It was such a great analogy. So would you tell your child, so if you have a daughter or a son, children that are going to school, would you say to them, when you wake up in the morning, I want you to start comparing yourself to all of the kids in your class, all of the older girls, what they look like, whether she's got blonde hair, black hair, you know, I don't know what she's wearing or what school bag she's got or what, you know, branded shoes, you know, the mum has bought for her, or what car they drive when they come to school, where their house is, where they live, what the mother and father do for work. You know, would you tell your child to keep on comparing themselves to other children at school every single morning? Would you do that? Like, pop that in the comments if you would not, and just pop not. in the comments that you would not tell your child to do that. So if you would not tell your child to do that, not compare themselves to others, then why are we doing that to ourselves? Why, like Jay said, and let's just repeat it, we're talking about first thing up in the morning.
Yeah.
For me, I have to look at it all day long.
As soon as you open your eyes, you're grabbing your phone and you're turning it on.
Yeah. So I take this on board for all day. So it affects me it doesn't matter whether it's first thing, it affects me chronically first thing. But I tell you what, it also affects me last thing at night as well. And, you know, last night was a perfect example of that when, you know, something quite negative come through and it really affected me just like that. It changed my brain, my chemicals. I felt flat. I felt down. I was just like, you know, gutted by what I had read. So, you know, like we've got to be so careful that we keep feeding ourselves with, you know, positive things. So
we've had a couple of people say no.
No, Mark, no, definitely. Yep, for sure, eh? Okay, so
sorry.
Oh, no, you go, huh?
So saying no,
yep.
Then why do we do it ourselves now? Yep. Why are we waking up in the morning and doing it? Because I'm sure I'll put my hand up, I've done it.
I'm sure we've all done it.
Done it heaps of times before I get up in the morning. I start getting myself before I go to gym. I'm thinking, yes, I'm going to do this. And then I sit on the toilet and I'm going, oh, okay, I'll just look through Instagram, see what's happening.
You spend so long in the toilet.
But
whose partners, it doesn't have to be men, does it? Spend so long in the toilet and it's like, I know.
One of the days of reading the magazine, it's now.
Phones, that's for sure.
But yes, I've stopped it. It's, you know.
So can you believe it that we're training our brain to be rewarded by comparing and by distracting ourselves? Like our brain is absolutely going crazy with dopamine. Its endorphins are going crazy because of what we're doing. So again, we wake up, we grab it, we look, we scroll. We're training our brain to check out of our own lives, and we're training our brains to check in with somebody else's. And, you know, if we're training ourselves to check in with other people's lives, then we're not, you know, creating our own thoughts, our own strategies, our own intentions as to what we want in our own lives. Yeah. And that's where the problem comes in. So it becomes an addiction. If it's something that we have to do and it's leading us to a negative result, then we need to stop ourselves from doing this and we need to break the habit. So what are a couple of things, Jace, you would suggest to break the habit from doing this? Just simple things, and you think, okay, that's a bit of an aha moment.
Don't take your phone to bed. Don't have it sitting beside you on your dresser. Leave it out in the kitchen or out in your office where you can go and get it on the charger. You know, leave it there.
Yeah.
And then and don't get it until you're actually ready to walk out the door.
Yeah.
For work.
Absolutely. Check us for sure. Like definitely come on and see Jason Kylov. You know, or if you haven't watched the live the night before, then, you know, catch up with that. But, you know, don't make it the first thing unless you're motivated and inspired by something. Then, you know, that's a little bit different. Or you're checking in with, you know, someone that's helping you do, you know, like personal development or meditation or affirmations or whatever it is. You know, like that's a little bit different. But we're definitely talking about the, you know, unintentional. Well, it's intentional, isn't it? But the mindless scrolling. Yeah, the mindless
scrolling. Looking at what people did over the weekend or something like that. First thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Again.
For
definitely.
Sure. And what I've learned, or it's helped me, is once I've done it, I think, okay, what did I learn from that? Like, what do I walk away with thinking, okay, I really loved what I seen then. You know, I mean, it's beautiful when you see mums have had babies and, you know, baby pictures and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, when you said like it goes from 5 minutes of just a quick scroll through to sometimes you don't even end up how you got to where you did. It's like, okay, then an hour later. So I love when Facebook sends you at the end of the week, like the tally of how many hours that you've spent on Facebook or on social media. And it can be quite surprising to think that, you know, that 5 minutes that you think you jumped on could be hours and hours, you know, that you've taken out of your life, you know, during the week. The other thing is though, you know, we can be using this as an escape mechanism to check ourselves out of life. Yeah. And, you know, I find this quite sad because, you know, I can do this, you know, and I know that what Jason and I talk about is things that we've experienced and what we do as well. And, you know, checking out of life because you might be depressed, you might be, you know, like not feeling so great. You might be just like a lot of problems going on. And so these things are ways that you can check out. And so just to be mindful of that as well. And, you know, go do some exercise, go for a walk, you know, like plan out your food, you know, do things that can help you or propel you forward to help you with your life, to help you be more successful and like life a bit more, or fall in love with what's going on. You know, take your dog for a walk, wash your dog, pat your cat, play with the kids, you
listen
know,
to an audio.
Totally,
You know, something that's going to make you more motivated and make yourself a better person.
And I heard something great the other day about not wishing for things to go faster than what they are, and life and time goes so quickly, and you know, we really are going to, you know, miss out on so much, you know, it just goes so fast. So, you know, like doing all this time on social media, is it something we're going to go, you know what, did I really benefit from all of that? And I think unless you're in business or you're doing stuff, you know, on business via social media, then you really got to like plug in and go, okay, this is my time frame. You know, like let's lock down a bit more and not spend so much.
Because we've done it before with ourselves. You know, comparing ourselves to other people that are in the same industry as us, and you know, we start watching them and we're gonna do that. And, they're really good. We're not going to be as good as that. And before too long, we're nearly giving up, kind of thing, or you know, missed what we're supposed to be doing. You know, and so now we've decided we're not watching that anymore. We're going to concentrate on our own growing and learning.
You are so right, Jason. So right. And, you know, I think the thing is, like, if I got onto, you know, a few lives before I did this and said, you know, she looks way better and she talks differently, and, you know, no one's going to be listening to what we've got to say, and all of these negative mindset thoughts, I could either listen to that and go, yep, I'm not going to do it, or we do it, we help one person, and we keep moving forward and we create what it is that we want to do. So, you know, it really can, it can absolutely play havoc on people's lives. And I always think that quote that I love, which I put up when I first actually started the network marketing business, was comparison is the thief of all joy. And so, you know, if you keep comparing, it will take your joy away from you. And, you know, you will suffer consequences from doing that. And that's the cold, hard fact. So, you know, again, we just need to be careful of whatever can become an addiction. And if we have an addictive personality, I think I have one, you know, I really have to make sure that I'm careful of that pull back.
I think all of us have it, some kind of
Some people don't care, Jace. You know, like it doesn't really,
Oh, yeah, that's true. Some of it just doesn't bother them.
No. Be different people. So guys, we hope that you got something from our live tonight. It was just a bit of a bit of chit chat, you know, with what subject we thought was appropriate, and something that, you know, it's been on our minds and what we've been talking about. So, you know, again, use some of those tools and some of those tips to help you and to help propel you forward in whatever it is that you're doing in your life. And, you know, again, we want to say thank you so much for joining us here. And
before you sign off on that, I just want to say,
Hmm.
so for the month of May, since we're only into the 6th or 7th day, depending on where you are, try put your phone out tonight, out in the kitchen or wherever, and try and see what you can do for the next rest of the month without scrolling first thing in the morning.
True.
Because whether we are working for ourselves or we're employees or employers, or you're in network marketing, we want to be better at everything that we do. So by doing this, we become better for our, you know, when we go to work, we become better partners, better husbands, better friends, better socially. So that's the whole goal of it, and have a better life.
So true.
So now you can sign off.
No, that's good. Yeah, no, I love it. Thank you. Hey, Brookie. Thank you guys for joining us, no matter where you are in the world. And again, if there's any hot topic or any questions that you've got, please send them through to us. And Jason and I will endeavour to answer them to the best of our ability, from, you know, how we live and what we do in our lives, and, you know, what is going on, so that we can, you know, help you in business, in health, and also in fitness too. So again,
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we're going to go.
No, you go.
I was going to say, so next week, where will we be?
Oh, where will we be?
Where will we be?
Where will we be?
Stay tuned. Make sure there might be a day behind or a day forward, depending on where we are. Bit of a hint. Might be a different time zone.
Could be a different time
but
zone.
But we'll be coming live from a different location, from somewhere in the world.
somewhere in the world. It's been a while since we've been on a plane, eh?
It is.
Definitely. Might not have been on a plane. It could have been on a train or in a car.
Could-
But there you go. I gave that away. It is on a plane. So anyway, that's if I can get on a plane.
Yes.
But we will see how we go. So thanks so much, guys. Again, if you know of any great back doctors, then drop that in the comments below for us so that you can give us a hand with that side of things. And if you have, sorry guys, just got distracted there on another. Okay, and apart from that, please share this with anyone that you think, again, might need any support when it comes to business, health, and lifestyle, or anyone that might be
Just
battling.
3 people.
Yeah, even one.
No,
Don't you
3.
agree? 3. And anyone that might be living with a mental illness, please, connect us with them so that we can possibly help them also to be able to move forward. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you around the same time, different place next week. Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
What happened there? Yeah, I've done it.
I don't know. It didn't last week.
Hang on. Did it just cut out, did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it did it last week as well.
Do you want to? And I saw that you can share it. Like before we go live, we should share it. Like once you press send, there was like a little arrow to
Just that one.
all of that one and that one. Not that one, but these 2.
This one didn't share.